3 things girls do that guys like.
First.
Don't look at me. You're answering this. Ha ha.
What?
Okay.
Not that. Whatever that was. Wow. No, girls do that guys like. So I'm telling you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
so I said first.
You didn't say nothing.
Well, I was looking at you trying to find something. Nothing was coming. It's my sister. It's okay. I can make jokes like that.
Yeah, we need to say that we're siblings, actually.
Yeah, because at first they're like, wait.
Are they dating?
And then the next part is like, wow, he's mean to her. I'm not mean to her. She's my sister.
But he is mean to me. I'm just his sister, though, so it doesn't matter. I'm a barista at this coffee shop. This guy comes up to the bar. I'm not at the register. I'm in the back making drinks. But he orders and he says he's from London. And he's like, can I get a cappuccino? And I'd like to order Amy's number. And I just freeze in the back and I'm like, oh, what to do now? I ended up giving him my Instagram, even though I wasn't necessarily attracted to him, because I totally respected the fact that he was bold enough and like creative enough to come up with a way to like ask for my number or Instagram in like a cool way, and he wasn't like too scared to do it. So I totally respected that, and I gave him my Instagram.
Every girl, I feel like, would always give out her Instagram.
Right.
Because what girl doesn't want a free follower? Yeah, I mean, so if asking for the number is a bit like committal, like that's like tier 2, tier 1, level 1, if you're just asking for the Instagram, it's such an entry level.
And I think it also gives the girl an opportunity to stalk you for herself, and so she automatically has a lot of her questions answered by just looking at your profile.
Fellas beware. Okay, hold up. Time
and
out.
vice versa. He can do that to you, and he can
Correct. Okay, so time out. What in a profile are things that jump out at you when you're stalking a guy?
Age. I would say age is number 1.
So you're trying to figure out, is he 15 or 25?
Exactly.
Or 35? Okay.
Right. After age, I would say what he's interested in. Is he adventurous? Does he travel a lot? Does he have pictures of like cats on his page, or does he have pictures of like Mount Everest, you know? 2 different vibes there.
Okay. So you need some Mount Everest guys to try to get in your altitude.
I was just saying the 2 extremes there. There's no cat guy walking up Mount Everest.
Okay, that's good. Well, I hope no guys listening to me have cats. That's a red flag.
But if you do, ditch them.
So being a barista in a coffee shop, you get to see a lot of people, right? A lot of dates, a lot of guys, a lot of girls. What are some things that you notice about guys, right? The guys that are your age, that they walk in and you automatically chuck them out, right? What are different things that you notice about them that are maybe the yays? Maybe we can get to the nays later. We already ruled off cats.
How they carry themselves is what I first notice. Do they have a purpose and a plan, or are they kind of just walking in, not really knowing what they're doing, what's going on? And then after that, I would just say like attractiveness, like of the face. Are they cute?
Okay.
Are they not?
That's fair.
So when you meet a girl, you see a girl in public, what are the first things that pop out to you?
Good question. So I would separate this from attractiveness, because obviously you're attracted to them if they're pretty, and everyone has a different form of attractiveness and what they're attracted to, right? Based off from person to person, right? So kind of like, I think that's in one camp, right? Oh, I love blue eyes. She has blue eyes. I'm attracted to her. Okay, right? So next camp over, that which I feel like is more universal and is attractive, not just as like a girlfriend, but as a friend or as a person. And I would say that is how confident they are in their own skin, if you will. Like, obviously with girls wanting to look good and with their outfits and their makeup and this and that, right? I feel like if they're the opposite of insecure, if they are secure in themselves and confident in themselves, regardless of whether they're the supermodel or they're not, or they're the extrovert who's super friendly and easy to talk to, or the girl who's more like kind of reserved, regardless of that, if you can just tell they're confident in themselves, like they're secure, they don't need anything, they're not like, oh, I hope people here like me tonight, they're just, they're comfortable, that's attractive.
I think that goes for guys as well, the exact same thing.
Sure.
Almost before looks, it almost adds to your attraction level, how they carry themselves. Do they have a purpose, or are they kind of just there for the ride?
I'll say one thing too is it's very easy to talk to the outgoing girls, right? Because they help carry the conversation too.
Right.
They ask you questions. They make it not awkward at all, right? And you go to the more quiet, the more reserved girls, that's when it can be kind of awkward, and you're like, so can I get your number or whatever? That's like, that's a little more, what do you do, right? With the outgoing girl, it's super easy. Right.
So what would you say for someone who's more reserved or introverted and they're not the social butterfly? What's something that they can do to make that easier?
It's a great question. It doesn't matter how reserved you are. It doesn't matter how... I'm not going to use the word shy because I think that's not who you are. That's what you do. I feel like shy is a bad habit.
Tweet that.
So I'm not going to use the word shy. But if you are more reserved, you're more quiet. Your personality is more introverted. Then, okay, you're not the one who just goes up to a group of guys or girls, anybody, and like, hey, I'm Sarah. What's your name? Okay, I get that. However, when someone comes up to you and strikes a conversation up, or someone meets you, I feel like that's you still need to add to that conversation. You need to be engaging. You need to keep the conversation going, right? You need to go back and forth with them. It doesn't matter if you're reserved or not. That's almost basic just politeness, courtesy.
Right.
So sure, you're quiet and you're not going to be the person that goes up and initiates. Okay. That's like, oh, you're super uncomfortable doing that. That's fine. But if someone comes up to you, and whether it's a guy or a girl, and they're going to initiate a conversation with you, you need to reciprocate that. And you need to keep that going. You need to bring energy there.
So this isn't about changing who you are or like, oh, I'll never be the social butterfly.
Right.
This is just improving yourself and getting better at what you do know best and lead the conversation. You can subtly leave the conversation, and maybe it's not in the questions you're asking. Maybe it's just in how you're answering the questions. Are you answering yes, no? Or are you answering yes, I love doing that, and I love doing this because of that, or this? And you're giving more to go off of and more ways to lead the conversation.
100%. And that's a great segue into keeping a conversation with somebody.
Right.
And that is, you've heard of the conversation ball, right? Back and forth, their court, your court. And that is, in a conversation, never give one-word answers because that's a dead-end street.
Right.
So if you ask me right now, hey, where are you from?
Where are you from?
I'm from Nashville.
Cool. Goodbye.
Yeah, right? It's like dead end. But if you ask me again...
So where are you from?
I'm from Nashville. Well, I technically live just south of there in Franklin.
I'm intrigued.
But I have... well, you might not be yet. But I've lived there for a couple years now. Actually, I'm originally from California.
Tell me more.
I used to go to school out there. And I actually grew up in this little house right by this lake. And so I love water sports. But yeah, now I'm here. And I love it here. Where are you from? So now... she knows I gave her like a freeway with so many exits you can take. You can talk about water sports, or you grew up on a lake. That's cool.
Right.
Or you grew up in California. How was growing up? How was California? You can talk about weather, food, anything you know about California. You can talk about here. How do you like it here? What, you lived in Franklin,
right?
In Nashville. How far are those apart? There's so many exits you can take to lead the conversation.
And there's also more to find what you connect on. Correct. Let's say I love water sports and he loves water sports. Well, if I didn't know that he grew up next to a lake, we might never have gotten there. But now that we both love water sports, we can spend the next half hour talking about our favorite sports and what we love doing. And now we have a connection and we're jiving.
It's no different than when you're traveling, right? And you're in China and you go to a random restaurant and you hear the people behind you speaking English or something. And you're like, oh, where are you from? And they're like, oh, we're from Tennessee. And you're like, what? No way, I'm from Tennessee. They can live on the opposite end of Tennessee, but you feel like you're friends. You feel like you're family because you're in an unknown environment and you just found someone that's like, aligns with you. He's got the same connections, story, right? So many mutual connections, interests, et cetera, because you're both from Tennessee. You're both from America. You both speak English,
right?
Et cetera, et cetera. So if you are at the coffee shop, or at a church, or at an event, make that event the unknown, right? And when you're talking with someone and you give them so many different snippets and an answer that they can latch onto, you're creating the opportunity for there to be a mutual connection. So now we're the known. This is the connection, right? And the coffee shop is the unknown, right? The youth group is unknown. So now I'd much rather keep talking with you than in the conversation and just be there by myself at the coffee shop or the event or church, as opposed to, I could have just stayed in this conversation until the event ended and I would have been fine.
And that crosses over genders as well. That's for girl to girl and guy to guy as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is just basic conversation skills 101.
3 things guys do that girls like.
Girls love it when guys come up to them and they initiate and they're bold and they know where they want the conversation to go. They have like a plan for it.
That's a hack right there, because I've done this, not super scripted, but when I am going to go up to talk to someone, having some form of a script, if you will, in your mind for what you're going to, how you're going to carry the conversation. So like have an opener, right? An icebreaker, and then maybe a little something in between. And then the most important part, which is how are you going to wrap it up?
Yes.
Because there's nothing worse than a great opener. You guys talk back and forth. It's all going well.
Vibing.
And then you're like,
Uh-oh.
oh, what do I say? What do I do? Do I get her number? Do I get an Instagram? How do I? And then you're just like, and there's the awkward silence in between. Even a couple seconds of awkwardness is a vibe killer. And whatever you built up here,
Yeah.
crash and burn.
I think it's important to leave them wanting more in general.
Exactly.
Leave before the conversation even has a
Exactly.
chance to get slow.
Exactly. So just have a little bit of an idea. You don't have to have it all scripted, but you can just see the girl and just be like, okay, my opener is going to be like, hey, I had to come up and say something. I love your cowboy boots. Like, where did you get those? Right? It can be something cheesy like that. She knows maybe you just want to come and talk to her, but she's flattered.
She's flattering.
And then you could be like, that's cool. Do you? And then if you want to expound off of that, you can. And you can be like, oh, were you in the rodeo last week or something? And she'd be like, oh, no, I just whatever. You're like, you can like kind of talk with her a little bit, and then you have to know, okay, so I'll go something off the boots, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. So after you ask her a question, she'll probably give an answer. And then as soon as she's done, be like, okay, hey, super great meeting you. Oh, I don't know if I caught your name. I'm Justus. Sarah, hey, Sarah, great to meet you. I gotta go. I gotta get back to work. I gotta roll. Gotta run. But great to see you. Hopefully see you around. Oh, can I grab your Instagram real quick or something? Done. But that way, it was like, she's like, what just happened? It was like 90 seconds of boom, 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 bang, gone. What just happened, right? As opposed to this.
Lightning struck. Every girl wants to be struck by lightning. Be the lightning.
Don't let the conversation peter out to like, well,
get in, get out.
It's been good. Wrap it up. Even when you think you've got something good, you want to keep it good.
Ooh. No, but it's true. Every girl watches Hallmarks and wants a lightning strike.
Okay, well, there you go, guys.
It's true.
Be their lightning strike. Okay, quick round of sweet or sus.
Rapid fire, sweet or sus?
Okay, guy has cats.
Sus. Oof.
Your turn.
She beats you in golf.
That's definitely sus, because it means someone else has been taking her out there. Someone else has been giving her lessons, bro. No, sir. The guy wants you to drive.
Sus. I'm passenger princess.
1000%.
Yes. Girl has greasy hair. Is that just wrong?
And he's like, yeah.
That was weird.
That is.
It needs to be a hot take. Hot take. Okay.
That question was sus.
She has an autoimmune
goodness.
disease.
Bloodborne disease.
Amy, no,
That is
come
Amy.
on. I gave you a
Girls
softball. Come on.
are
Give me
just
some.
better than guys. I'm having a hard time.
That's so cap. Uh-oh, I'm going to be canceled.
Uh-oh. She always wants to be the driver.
Sus.
Yeah, I agree.
No brings.
Bro, you're not on the
Bro,
podcast.
chill.
Get out of here.
Chill. Be
Nobody wants to do
quiet.
that. Nobody wants to
Be
do that.
quiet.
Every guy that's listening to this is gonna be like,
That's why we're saying
I'm gonna
sus.
drop their phone out the window, bro.